Hi, this is Aaron with Zollotech, and today we're going to take a little bit deeper look into the Droid 2. Now, the similarities between the Droid 1 and Droid 2, design-wise, are very close. The actual outside is almost identical, other than this titanium or gunmetal gray color here, or silver, or whatever you want to call this. The back is a little bit more blue. I don't know if you can see that. It's kind of a tint of blue. The phone itself, though, when you slide it open, this is the biggest change. The older Droid had a little touchpad, like right in here, and flat keys that were separated. These are all raised keys. They've done away with the little scroll trackpad thing and replaced that with a wider keyboard, some nicer keys, all backlit like most keyboards, and they are raised now, so that does help with typing when you're not looking. So the phone itself aesthetically is pretty much the same, other than the colors in that keyboard. Now, there are some significant updates to this phone. It does have Froyo on it, or Android 2.2, but that will be available, or is available, on the Droid itself. On the Droid 2, it comes standard. Now, there's some nice things about this phone. One of them is mainly that it has flash built in. It has voice commands, not just your normal voice commands, but you can tell it you want to text. You can speak to it and tell it you want to, navigate, text, go to a website. And I know you can kind of do that with others, but this is their own voice command setup. So, as you can see, the interface, this is the standard interface, minus this right here. I put this on the main page. Normally it's on this page. Other than that, this is how you would get the phone, and it has quite a few options, very similar to the Droid X. Now, the screen resolution on this, from everything I could find, it actually was difficult to find on the Verizon and Motorola website, but it is 480 by 854. And there was a comparison of the Droid and Droid 2, and they're pretty much the same resolution according to that. Now, that said, the phone itself I find to be a little bit touchy. The touch screen is good, but it's similar to the other one. It sometimes feels sluggish to me, and people that I've actually handed the phone to just get an initial impression from, like I often do, have said, this feels really slow. And those are both people that have iPhones and have Android phones. They kind of have given me the same response. I've rebooted this right now. It feels fine. It seems like it's responding well. But just wanted to tell you that's how the majority of people I've handed this to have said that. So just wanted to kind of tell you that. If you've used a Droid 1, I'm sure it'll feel a little bit faster. But having used an Incredible and a Droid X, I tend to find that this feels a little bit more sluggish than those. Now, it does have flash, like I said, and that's quite a nice advantage on this phone. So if I go into the browser, and I hit this here, let's go to Zollotech. It'll take just a moment to load. I'm on Wi-Fi right now, and this one does not tend to have the Wi-Fi issues that the Droid X did. So you can see it's starting to load the page. And here's the nice thing. These are YouTube videos. This is actually the Droid 2 unboxing. And what we'll do is go ahead and hit play. And you have the choice. And the browser crashed. Now, like I said, this has been fully rebooted before filming this video, just so that we had full speed and I could show you legitimately what the performance is like. Well, let's see. Zollotech again. There we go. Now, you do have the option of starting Flash in the browser when you're playing YouTube, or you have the option of opening that YouTube video within YouTube itself. So that's really up to you and what you'd like to do. So let's go ahead and try this again. And hopefully it doesn't crash. But you can see there's ads. There we go.
Hi, this is Aaron with Zollotech.
So you can see it's a little choppy.
And today we have what I believe to be the Droid 2. And we'll go ahead and unbox this.
So you can see it's choppy, but you do have a lot of flash going on the screen. You did have the ads, you have the flash itself in the video. It is a little bit choppy. I've seen that on older computers where that happens. If you could shut the other flash off, it'd probably be fine. This will not work with Hulu, as Hulu blocks it. But any other video source that's flash seems to work pretty well, and you could potentially play games on here if you had the patience on the smaller screen. Now, this does have a mobile hotspot since it is Froyo. Here we have the 3G mobile hotspot. If we hit that, we can simply turn this on, just like the Droid X. And do we want to create security? For now, we'll say none. And save. And so all you simply do is hit that button there. Oh, it's turning on, setting up data link, if you can see that. So turning on, there we go. So now if you have devices around you that use Wi-Fi, you've got a hotspot. And that's how that works on the Droid X and the Droid 2. And it's quite nice to have, and I use it regularly when I can. So here's pretty much, that's about it. You do have the 5 megapixel camera, which records in 720 by 480, so you're not going to get full 720p video yet. And hopefully they can update that, because that update's supposed to be on the Droid Incredible, and the 5 megapixel camera does 720p on an iPhone, so hopefully they can do that on this. The voice commands, you can tell it to, we'll try this here, hit the voice, go to zollotech.com. And we're just waiting for it. And it doesn't like the pronunciation, but here's one of the neat things you can do, is we'll try this one more time. Write email to Chad Zollo, hi, how are you today? Let's see what it comes up with. Excuse me. So let's just wait for it here. I've seen this demoed on other videos. Gizmodo did a video of it, and it seemed to work pretty well. So I was curious to check it out myself. We're still waiting for it. I don't have the greatest signal where I'm at now. I'm actually partially underground, so I'm not going to get the best signal down here. When I was filming before some of the other videos with signal comparison, that was actually upstairs. I just don't get a good signal down here, period, because it's underground. And there's some brick outside. It's taking quite a while. Uh-oh, I canceled that. Let's try one more time. Email Chad Zollo, hi, how are you today? Let's see what happens here. Now the screen is pretty nice. There we go. 2, that's actually my brother. Hi, how are you today? So very impressive. I thought that was one of the coolest things you could do with this if you were on the go. You can do memos to yourself. There's a bunch of different voice commands that they actually go over within the actual voice command setup when you first initialize it. Now, one of the other things too is it comes with Skype, as most of the Verizon Droid phones do, and it's pre-installed. I didn't install that, and you can use that over Wi-Fi, and that's probably to take some of the load off their network, even though their network seems to be more than capable. So that's pretty much it for the Droid 2. So far, I do like it. The build quality is quite nice. Other than that, like I said, it does feel a little bit sluggish at times, but for the most part, it's a decent phone, and I prefer the Droid X myself, just because the screen is so nice on the larger size, and it's a little bit thinner. This one has a little bit more of a thickness, but that's because of the keyboard. But if you need a physical QWERTY keyboard, this would be the way to go. I don't think you'll be disappointed. It has all the features of the Droid X minus the larger screen. Battery life seems to be pretty good. Now that it's cycled a few times through a couple days. It's just like any other smartphone. It will get you through the day. So that's pretty much it. There isn't a whole lot more. It's just Froyo, or Android Froyo. It seems to be a little bit faster than the regular version, and we'll do a comparison also once we have Froyo on Droid X and the Incredible, which should be within this month or next. So that's pretty much it. If you have any questions or things you'd like to see before I do the full review, please feel free to let me know. I'd love to answer all your questions if I could. Please continue to comment and subscribe. I really appreciate it. This is Aaron with Zollotech. We'll see you next time.